We just want to make this a free-flowing press, so you guys can ask questions and answer. And we're going to start now.
Okay, well, I've got one to kind of start us. Where did the idea for Rangerstop come from? Where did it get its ground to the end?
Well, you know, we're at a convention and I just came up with this. No, I will defer to the
Well, we had all talked collectively, me, Mikey, and Nakia, about starting a con or doing a con. And we were at New York Comic Con and we were all together. We had a big booth there and we were having the best time ever. And I just kept telling them, like, guys, we need to do a con, we need to do a con. But I wanted it to be like a Ranger con, but also a Pop con. So that's where you get Rangerstop and Pop. And Mikey has Rangerstop. He's had it almost 10 years now. And it's an amazing show in Orlando. And I knew that he knew the exhibitor side, we knew the celebrity side, and we all knew business. So I think we'd be a great team, and we ended up being a great team. We work, you know, we all see things differently, but that's a great thing because, yeah, the things that I don't think about, she thinks about, or Mikey thinks about, and we really balance each other out. But yeah, it was just one of those things where I said, you know, I really want us to have anime, you know, pop, you know, culture guests as well as Power Rangers. We knew we could ask all our friends and they would love to come. And we knew having it in Atlanta, a city that doesn't normally bring Power Rangers out, they would be more than happy to come. So we just said, let's just give it a go. And here we are 3 years later. Very excited and very proud.
It's been a great balance, I think. And as Karan was saying, I think we each lend bright ideas to it, because Mikey's been a vendor in cons for over 20-something years, and she started cons when she was 3. So, you know, having that experience as us being guests and knowing what people want, and the feedback that we're getting from everybody, for the most part, 99% of everybody is just loving it. So we just want to make sure that our vendors and our guests and our patrons, that everybody is happy all the way around. That's so important to us. Thank you for your question. Thank you. Yes.
Are you surprised at how fast the con has grown in Atlanta since you started in 2019?
Yeah. Well, we're not surprised because we literally work all year round, and we promote this show all over the country. I mean, literally every single Comic-Con we do, we're passing out, you know, flyers, or we're passing out free tickets. And I mean, we saw there was a stack of free tickets that were, you know, redeemed, and that made us so happy because, you know, they want to come to a show, and I always say it's those that, you know, the vendors who support us, the volunteers who are the backbone of the show, and it's all of you who show up and just come to have fun. So I'm surprised, but I'm not, because I know how many days and nights we have been pounding the pavement, and we're exhausted, but it's worth it because it's just been such a big reward.
It's paid off for the amount of work. I mean, they literally work every single day, even on weekends, even when they're at work traveling for conventions. It's all the time, and they put so much thought into so many details that I haven't seen at other cons. Actually, that's why it's a very unique experience for the fans when they come here.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kat.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Carlton.
Nakia and Karan, being Black women, how important is this convention you guys are, you know, Black women running the convention? How important is that for you guys?
Well, I don't know very many promoters that are African American
Or female.
or female.
Yeah.
So this is huge. It's a blessing, absolute blessing. We want to get to MomoCon, DragonCon status at some point. You know, Rangers and pop culture in Atlanta together has not been done. So hopefully we can bridge that gap and make it just huge out here. But it's an absolute blessing to be an entrepreneur, be African American, handling distribution.
Yes. Well, you know what though? We have to give love to all the city of Atlanta. They've showed us so much love. The Sheraton Hotel is our home. They have been amazing, and you know, it's just one of those things where I think it's so important for women of all colors to see other women running things and other women doing it, but especially for women that look like us, because you, like she said, I know one other Black promoter that has a show. I know 2, but that's the thing. Like, there are thousands of shows, and that blows my mind that even attendance-wise, we're a small number, and I'm like, that's gonna change. We're gonna, make it more inclusive. Yeah, so, but we're here to change that. Yes.
So this question's for Nakia.
Yes.
Did you ever watch TV and then commercials come on and you're like, I don't remember filming this commercial?
No, I would say that I as soon as it comes on, I definitely remember filming, for sure. It takes you right back to the memory and the time and the laughter. Yeah, I haven't found one where they just like put me in and didn't pay me for it, because then it'll be a problem.
Right.
Although I have gotten messaged about, there's a kid show called Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol.
Yeah,
My son loves that show. So don't say anything bad about it.
No. But I believe my voice has been used there. I've gotten a lot of calls about that, and I never filmed there, so they've done a cut from somewhere with my voice.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
Paw Patrol, we're on TV.
Okay.
Coming for
Take
you.
you down.
Where did the idea for the VIP passes come from, and having that personalized experience for Rangerstop?
That came from Mikey. Mikey, well, you know what? There are a lot of shows who do VIP events or parties or events or just different things. But it was his show in Orlando that originally had the VIP dinner, and he has a VIP dinner and a VIP breakfast. And so it was that, because we were guests at the show and we would go to the dinner. Now you put us in it, and I like to reimagine things, because I didn't want the Atlanta show to be a direct copy of the Orlando show. I wanted Atlanta to stand out and for us to do things differently, and he'd asked me to start hosting his Orlando show quite a few years ago. So when he gave me that and gave me free reign, I was like, okay, are you ready? And so since then, every year I've just really like racked my brain to try to figure out ways to make it more, I don't know how you say it, like just have you guys be more involved.
Interactive.
Interactive, because I felt like the first couple ones that I went to, it was just always this like where we were eating and everyone was looking at a seat, and then we would go and we'd sit at the table, and it was like
questions.
It was almost an awkward way to start conversations, because a lot of the fans are introverted personalities. And so I said, you know what, we gotta like shake this thing up, we gotta do games, we gotta just make and I was like, I also have to make the Rangers play the games. And the minute we had everyone doing that, it's almost like the fans forget that they're playing games with us. They're just having fun. And even the Power Rangers, everyone's just having fun. So it almost breaks down that wall and just gives the fans this really cool 2 hours of memories that you just really can't. I mean, I remember things at those dinners that I just think about it and start laughing. So if I do that, I know that it's really special for them.
Well, as one of the guests there, and you being involved in that and not being one of the promoters, how do you feel about that?
I actually, when we first did the VIP dinners at Rangerstop Orlando, it felt like, I was like, it's like speed dating. Like, you sit and then move to the next table, and it was a little uncomfortable, because you had to keep the conversation going, because like she said, a lot of the fans are more quieter, introverted people. But the way that they do it, where it's games and fun, and the fans get to be with us in a fun, exuberant kind of way, and we get to play with them. It's just like, it's just really fun. And the giveaways, they have all these amazing prizes they give away, so it's really enjoyable as a guest.
And you know what, I saw, like, a lot of the fans afterwards, they're like, it's their first time dancing, it's their first time getting in the, and I remember one of the panels we had where there was a young man who, we know him really well, and he came, and I remember he knows all the Zords, like, he knows how to do all the morphs and all that stuff, Tim. And I just remember his reaction, because we had a contest at one of the panels, and Nakia had it to where you pick someone and they had to do, you were there. And he did it, and like the entire panel erupted. And he had told us later, he was like, I've never had that in my life, where people were cheering for me. And he was like, everybody wanted to be my Facebook friend, and they were friending me. And so that's what we want to do. We want to break down those walls. And even the shy ones, you see them out there and they're dancing, because it's like we all forget to be shy because we're having too much fun. So.
I think another element to our VIP that makes it unique is, I was asking some of the bigger cons that have the VIP passes that charge a lot, as they should, because there's a lot of people there. They don't have that interaction. You get a VIP pass, you get in an hour early, you get a gift bag, but that's it.
Yeah, might get to the front of the line.
Yeah,
you know.
this is something that is completely unique to us, you know, even with Power Morphicon, which is a very huge power, you know, thing. You get to sit down and have dinner, but it's not what this child has come up with VIP.
Yeah.
Even in addition to that, we have a Friday night party that
Oh my gosh, yeah.
that Mikey hosts, and then we have the after party that I host. So you have two celebrities that are hosting the parties, and we just have a good time. I do my annual musical chairs, extreme musical chairs.
Yeah, I was gonna say Survivor musical
It
chairs.
is.
Yes, I saw somebody fly through the air yesterday. I was like, oh god.
You got to the top three.
You have to have a very strong butt.
When I saw the little girl cry, I go, did they knock her down? And then I realized she was just upset she didn't win.
Yeah,
But I was
I'll have
like,
to do a
okay.
disclaimer next year. Because
Yeah, we're
they're
sign
all
waivers.
adults. Yeah, I'm like, we're all adults, and she's like, this little, you're bound to get booty bumped. Like,
Yeah,
you
like
know?
it gets real when
It
you
does.
go win a Super 7
Right,
sword,
yes,
you know?
I tried to do everything in my power to try to make sure I stayed close so she wouldn't get knocked over. And I tried to make sure she kept in a chair, but.
Yeah, every man for themselves after a certain number.
Yeah.
Every kid, man, child,
I
woman
would
for
much rather, I
themselves.
really wanted to see her win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick, he had a question,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Hi.
Well, Nakia.
Yes.
So from playing a superhero on Power Ranger as a teenager to now playing a mother, a hero on Danger Force.
Yeah.
How has that been, and what advice have you given the kids?
It's really funny. It feels like it's come full circle. I remember the first time, because I did the pilot, the very first episode for Danger Force, and you know, I had no idea that they knew who I was. So the two kids that I play the mom to, their parents watched me. And
Hilarious.
they didn't tell me until later on in the week. The young lady that plays Mika, her mother used to dress up as the Yellow Power Ranger, used to dress up as me. So I remember when I first met her, she was just like, hi, and she was just, you know, didn't really say much. And then by day 3, she came up and she started crying, and I was crying, and I was like, oh my gosh. She was like, now you're the mom to my daughter, and I used to watch you. It's very humbling.
Yeah.
It's very humbling. Danger Force has been a really, really great show to be on. The cast is really, really cool. Even the guest cast has been a lot of fun, but it's humbling and it's great at the same time. Thank you for that question.
So
Yes.
cool.
So what has been your favorite fan interaction outside of a convention?
No pressure.
Outside of a convention. That's a tough one, because everything I can think of is at conventions, because that's my life at the moment.
We did comic book store. We went to the bar and the bartender.
Oh yeah, we were at a store signing recently, and we went out for dinner afterwards, and we walked into this beautiful restaurant, and the bartender was like, oh my gosh, you're Tanya, and you're Kat, and he was just freaking out, and he's like, I can't believe this, can I make you a drink? He was just so excited, and we
You
got
were like,
pictures
yes,
with
you
him. He was so sweet, and he was in his 20s, and he was just reminiscing about, you know, when he watched the show and everything. And again, it's always really lovely to hear. We hear this so many times of people that were, you know, marginalized or bullied, or, you know, they have experiences where they were very isolated, and Power Rangers gave them, you know, a family and someone to connect to. So it's really lovely to hear that. Yes.
You are 3 very prominent and phenomenal women. What advice could you give to anyone to follow in their footsteps to be successful?
I just say you gotta go for it. Like, the reality is, what do you have to lose? The worst thing someone's gonna do to you is tell you no. So if you think of it that way, it's not failure, they're just telling you no. It's just not happening at that moment. And sometimes when you get told no, that's the motivation to find that yes. So I just tell people all the time, like, I mean, life is so freaking short. I know everyone has had an experience where you've had that moment where you realize how life is short, whether you lose someone or just anything, you know, life is hard, life is short. So why not try to do something you love, and why not try to follow your dreams, and why not try to just make it happen? You know, and there's plenty of tools, plenty of education, plenty of internships, plenty of things to help you get there. So I just say go for it.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
I would say just really be true to yourself and be authentically you, because it's very easy, especially in our industry, it's very easy to get, lost in what other people think you should be, or keeping up with the Joneses or whatever it is. Kardashians in this day and age, yes. So yeah, just really find what makes you shine and just go forth in that way.
Yeah.
I always say if God tells you yes, it doesn't matter if he tells you no.
Right.
And I would just start with that, because I've had a lot of that in my life where I know that God has said go forth, and with all of the hurdles and the walls that stood in place, he'll knock them down if they're meant for you. But you have to be in that place in order for that door to be open. If you're defeated before you even start, then you've already lost. So you have to walk through that door. You have to keep going through all those no's. If God has told you that this is the path you're supposed to go, then you walk it, and those doors that are for you are going to open, and those that are not are not. And I remember thinking, there was this show that it was the two of us up for this new Nickelodeon show, and I was just like, Lord, please, please, and I was so defeated when I didn't get it, and I was like just really bawling and just really sad. And then a few weeks later, first of all, the show didn't get picked up. And the young lady that I was going up against, we ended up going up against each other for another project. I booked it, and I made so much more money on this project than I would have ever made on the other. So sometimes and it wasn't even that, it was just the experience and the people, and God has a plan for all of us. Whether you believe in God or not, or you believe in the universe, I just feel like we all have a purpose, and you just go for it. You go for it. Just like both of these two ladies were saying, all you can do is try.
Yeah.
And if he says yes, it doesn't matter who says no.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
guys for coming and being
Thanks,
here.
Kimiko.
Kimiko, thank you. for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Great job as always.